We won. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another Stranger Things Season 5 video, and this time, this is not a theory video, this is not an update video. We are talking about the first official footage from Stranger Things Season 5, as we got a little teaser trailer for Season 5 at Netflix's Tudum, and I'm giving you my thorough, in-depth breakdown. I've spent the last hour doing in-depth notes on this thing, going frame by frame, so just like I did all of 2024 with the raw stuff or photo dumps, I've got a little breakdown of this new footage. Before I get into this, hit that like button, comment down below your predictions for Season 5, your thoughts on all this footage. What are your theories and predictions based on every little frame of footage from Season 5? And of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. I mean, quite a bit. If you want extra content, including a new Stranger Things series called Stranger Things Rewind, you can join my Patreon for content over there. Lots of fun behind-the-scenes stuff planned as we head into the summer that you won't want to miss out on. So the highly anticipated Tudum was today, or yesterday, I guess, because it's the middle of the night right now, and I'm a madman staying up to film and edit this video. But Netflix finally gave us the first official footage from Stranger Things Season 5. Tons of other projects got trailers too, but when it was finally time for Stranger Things, 3 of the OG stars took the stage as Finn Wolfhard, McLaughlin, and Noah Schnapp all walked out on stage, and they kind of teased us for a bit. I was getting a little angry. I was like, they're not going to give us anything, are they? They shared some behind-the-scenes footage from past seasons when they were all younger, and I was like, we're not getting anything, are we? They were like playing these different VHS tapes, literally just toying with us, and then by the end, they acted like they were going to walk off stage, but Finn said they had one more tape to play, and that's the moment we knew we were going to get footage. I was actually watching Tudum live on stream. Shout out to every single one of you who was in that stream. It was electric. Actually, a record-breaking stream here for the Film Stock channel. The most people that have ever been in a live stream. There were over 2,000 people joined live at once. We were hanging out, talking Stranger Things. I do lots of live streams, so make sure you don't miss those. But it was incredible. Unforgettable live stream, unforgettable day. And right when they put that VHS tape in, I ended the stream. I didn't watch anything. I set up my camera. I said, we gotta watch this. And that is the video you saw. If you haven't watched my reaction, check it out now. But in that video, I said I'll be doing a breakdown, and that's why we're here now. So if you've been around the channel for a while, you know we're gonna break this thing down frame by frame, Ross Duffer photo dump style, except this time it's for actual footage for Season 5. So let's dive into this date announcement teaser and break it all down frame by frame. The teaser opens with brand new unseen footage as we've got Joyce talking to Will, and she says, I think about that night all the time. We then cut to Will's face as it seems like this will be a scene of the two talking about their traumatic past. Of course, that dates back to the events of the first episode of Stranger Things on November 6, 1983, when Will was taken to the Upside Down. Nothing was ever the same after that moment, and this quick little exchange between Joyce and Will, mother and son, lets us know that will be explored heavily in Season 5. Everything's gonna come full circle by the end. But it looks like they're either at the WSQK radio station or at the farm setting. More on that later. The score then swells, and we see the beginnings of a montage of shots from past seasons. This was very Avengers Endgame coded for the best. There's an Endgame trailer that has a lot of black and white footage of past moments of the main Avengers. I got vibes of that here, kind of chronicling the history of the MCU. Well, here, we're going through some of the most iconic moments from past seasons building up to Season 5. And the way this teaser was structured in that sense made this season feel final, really emphasizing that this is the culmination of almost a decade of iconic TV. The first shot is of the search party looking for Will in early Season 1. Then we see a shot of Castle Byers with Joyce and Jonathan searching for Will, also from Season 1. And then we see the kids riding their bikes in Season 1, Episode 3, Holly Jolly. This is when they're headed to the quarry to find Will's ultimately fake body. Then we see the final shot of Season 1, Episode 1 with 11 coming face to face with Mike, Lucas, and Dustin in the rainy Hawkins woods, marking their very first encounter as a group. Joyce's voiceover then continues as she says, the night it came for you. So to this point in this teaser, Joyce has said, I think about that night all the time, the night it came for you. A shot of Joyce from Season 1 with the Christmas lights flashing then hits the screen, followed by a shot of Hopper's face when Will's fake body is first discovered at the quarry. We then see a shot of Brenner entering Hawkins' lab from Season 1, along with 11 in the sensory deprivation tank in the lab from Season 1 as well. Joyce's voiceover continues as she says, the night all of this started, ... So if you put Joyce's voiceover together thus far, she says, I think about that night all the time, the night it came for you, the night all of this started. While she says this, we get a shot of Will running back home at the opening of Season 1, Episode 1, when he heads out back to the shed behind his house, holds up a gun, turns around, and ultimately disappears as he's taken to the Upside Down when the light bulb cuts to black. Another epic moment from the show is shown as we see Elle flipping the van in season 1. Then we get hit with the text, "This fall," finally telling us, the fans, what season of the year 2025 Stranger Things season 5 is coming out, because we'd been speculating October, November, but we didn't actually know. All we had known since Stranger Things Day of last year was that it was coming out in the calendar year 2025, but we didn't have a season or time of year. This let us know fall, and later in this video, it gave us set in stone dates finally. Some season 2 moments are then showcased as the background score plays over top, such as the kids showing up to school in their Ghostbusters get-ups, Hopper in the tunnels, Will seeing the Mind Flayer, Jancy together, and Elle closing the gate in the season 2 finale. Then Will Byers himself picks up the voiceover saying, "Everything changed," as the score continues to be epic as hell. We see some season 3 shots with Elle and company at the hospital, Elle and the gang in Starcourt Mall, the final showdown from the Battle of Starcourt, and Will's voiceover continues as he says, "We failed." Season 4 finally gets its time to shine as iconic moments are shown, such as Max at Billy's grave, Eddie turning back to face the Demobats and be a hero, Vecna from season 4, Steve being Steve, always the goddamn babysitter.
Always the goddamn babysitter.
Max running up that hill, Nancy Wheeler with a shotgun versus Vecna, and Elle at the Nina Project. Will Byers in voiceover then states, "But we need to be ready." More season 4 shots are shown, like Hopper charging the Demogorgon with the sword, Murray with the flamethrower in the Russian prison, Max levitating, and Elle and the gang hillside at the end of season 4, showing us the final shot of the 4th season. So that caught us up through season 4 as we sort of quick breezed through the most iconic moments of the show thus far. Now it's time for the major date reveals to begin. Volume 1 was revealed to hit Netflix on November 26th. This is a Wednesday, and it is the day before Thanksgiving here in the US. It was later revealed on Twitter that this first batch of episodes will hit Netflix at 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m. Pacific Time. So take that time and date and apply it to your local time zone for when those episodes will drop, because they're going to hit Netflix at the same time all around the world, but that time and date will vary based on where you live. So just make sure you know all that info before these dates roll around. Volume 2 was revealed to hit Netflix on Christmas Day, so December 25th here in the United States. Same thing with the time zones and dates, just know where you're at and equate December 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific to wherever you live. That's when the episodes will drop for you. So that immediately let us know we're getting at least 2 volumes for season 5, which is what myself and many others had been predicting, but that's not where they stopped. They hit us with one more volume, or should I say, just the finale. The finale of Stranger Things season 5 will release on New Year's Eve here in the United States, so December 31st, again at the same time as previously mentioned for the other 2 volumes. So regarding the release dates for Stranger Things season 5, we finally got them. And they're doing 3 parts after all, so the rumors were true of this season being split up into 3, but the gap in between parts is not that bad at all. There's often a negative connotation associated with splitting a show into volumes or 3 parts because of the amount of time between killing momentum, but here, the total amount of time between volume 1 and 2 and then volume 2 and 3 is actually the same amount of time pretty much as the gap between volume 1 and volume 2 of season 4, as that was May 27th to July 1st. And if you look at the total gap from season 5 volume 1 to season 5's finale, that is only November 26th to December 31st. So they're pretty much the same amount of time for both seasons if we're looking at the spread. I quite like the spacing, if I'm being honest. If we have to go the 3-part route, I actually much prefer this spacing as opposed to something like Cobra Kai that spread it out from July all the way to the following February. So how are they divvying up these episodes into 3 different parts? We know the season's 8 episodes, and since the finale is releasing on its own, that means that 7 episodes will have to be split up between 2 parts, so they're likely going to go 4 in volume 1 and 3 in volume 2. That would give us 4 episodes to kickstart the season, making the break between volume 1 and volume 2 at the halfway mark of season 5. We would then get the next 3 episodes in volume 2, and that volume would end with the penultimate episode of the show, likely on a major cliffhanger, but we'd only have to wait 1 week to witness the finale, an episode that will probably be 2+ hours. So to me, it does seem like there will be natural breakpoints in the story throughout the season if they follow the model that I just referenced. And with the finale being, again, probably 2 to 3 hours in runtime, it warrants having its own release. Look at the piggyback for reference, the season 4 finale. That thing was like 2.5 hours. A lot of meat on the bone. I think it's smart, gives them an extra week to get all the VFX work done, and you know what? With them releasing the finale then, Netflix could drop this thing in theaters. Limited runs, not a lot of screenings, but they did show season 4's finale in theaters, so they could do the same with season 5. So that does it for the big reveal about the release dates and release formats of season 5. We finally have them. The speculation can end. We're getting 3 parts. November 26th, December 25th, December 31st. But for the rest of the teaser trailer, we've only got new footage, so I'm finally breaking down what you've all been waiting for. After the final date for the finale was revealed, the trailer cuts to black, and what follows is a sequence of shots from season 5 that we are now seeing for the first time ever. The first is of Joyce wielding an axe, and she's seemingly in the farm setting that we've seen from plenty of behind-the-scenes pictures. It's good to see Joyce, the mother she is, wielding the axe again, and she's looking at something that's clearly a threat. This could actually be a Demogorgon or another creature from the Upside Down. Lights are flickering overhead, so we know what that means. Behind her, we see what looks like Robin to her right, and we've actually seen Robin and Joyce together in the behind-the-scenes teaser. To her left, we see Erica next to Will wearing his new season 5 outfit we saw from the first look at Will back in March of 2024 on Ross Duffer's Instagram. And next to him is Erica, but above all of them is one of the new characters who's played by the actor Jake Connolly. His name is rumored to be Derek, but we still don't have official confirmation on that yet. And we've seen both Erica and this new character in the behind-the-scenes teaser wearing the same exact outfits, and they're in the same farm setting. I think this could be Derek, the new kid's farm, but we don't know for sure. And I'm just gonna call him Derek, even though we don't know if that's even his name. That's just something that sprung up months ago, so I'm rolling with it until we get official confirmation on that. But is this one of the character groupings for the season? Joyce, Robin, Erica, New Guy, and Will? Seems like it. The trailer then cuts to what looks like Joyce's POV of a door at the shed or the barn they're in about to get busted down. So calling back to the point I made earlier about what Joyce could be looking at with the axe, it's 100% whatever's behind that door, likely something from the Upside Down. We then cut to a quick shot of Karen and Holly Wheeler. This shot officially reveals the Nell Fisher recast as Holly, and they both look extremely distraught as though they're witnessing a horrible act take place. Could this be the death of Ted Wheeler? Could you imagine? Guy's just sitting in his recliner taking a nap and he gets off by Vecna? Brutal way to go. But all jokes aside, it is likely Vecna arriving to take Holly, which will lead into the vanishing of Holly Wheeler. The second episode of season 5 is called The Vanishing of Blank, and we all believe it will be Holly Wheeler, so that would make sense that Vecna shows up to take her. They're also most likely in the Wheeler house because they are the Wheelers, but that wallpaper in the background could be the inside of the Creel house, as that Creel house has some artsy wallpaper. We also know that Vecna and Holly shot some scenes together at the Creel house, so it would make sense they'd end up here, but I'm not sure why Karen would also be there. This to me looks like the scene when Holly gets taken. Lumax Nation, get ready because this next shot is for you. Next up, we see Lucas sitting next to Max, who is still laying in a hospital bed in her coma, it appears. And this looks just like the behind the scenes shot of the two characters that we saw from a Ross Duffer photo dump months ago. The drawing of the two of them at the movies is taped to the wall, and that makes me sick, all right? I need these two to end up together. And this clearly seems to be post-time jump into the fall of 1987 based on Lucas's outfit. We've seen him wearing this in other behind the scenes pictures. All I gotta say about this is Max better wake up. Max Mayfield, it's your turn to inspire a new TikTok song. Then we get our shot of the duo. We got Steve and Dustin. They're both holding flashlights, looking up as they're surrounded by vines and tendrils from the Upside Down. Where are they? They could be in Hawkins' lab based on the flooring, like the tile pattern. Plus, we've seen shots of the inside of Hawkins' lab with vines and the behind-the-scenes teaser from last July. This could be a new room in Hawkins' lab that we haven't seen yet. Hell, it could be an entirely new location or even the WSQK radio station. We don't know for sure, but we'll find out when we watch. This next shot is a doozy. We see 11 covering her ears in pain as Hopper consoles her while red lights flash all around. Vecna's likely inside of her head messing with her mind and causing some serious pain. Worth noting, Hopper and 11 are both in their outfits we've seen many times now, and they could very well be inside the military base here as the alarms seem to be producing that red light. Are they under attack? More on that later. The next shot is without a doubt the craziest of this new footage though. We see this huge wall of tendrils or vines that looks like the wall from Game of Thrones, except it's not made of ice. Two characters are looking at it, and it's really hard to make out exactly who they are, but one of them has the stature of Vecna, but you gotta ask, why the hell would Vecna be holding a flashlight? One's clearly a boy character, one is clearly a girl character. So could this be Hopper and Elle, or Nancy and Steve, or Jonathan? How about Holly as the girl? Whoever the dude is looks like he's got some sort of hat on or a bald cap, so I'm leaning that this is Hopper and 11 looking looking at the wall. The outfit the girl's wearing kind of looks like Elle's outfit we see in the money shot of the behind-the-scenes teaser, so I'm gonna put my money on this being the duo that is Hopper and Elle. Would make sense for that father-daughter duo to be heading into the Upside Down confronting evil. But what is this wall? It's unlike anything we've seen in Stranger Things at this point in time. Whatever it is, whatever it ends up to be, it's 100% associated with the crazy lore reveal about the Upside Down. We know the Duffers have answers, they're gonna give them to us. This wall looks like a major key. Could it connect to Dimension X? Potentially a gate or like a way of passage between Dimension X and the Upside Down? Perhaps this symbolizes the walls of Vecna's mind, so if they go through, do they penetrate his mind? Could it just be another layer of the Upside Down that we don't know about yet? Perhaps it's the edge of the Upside Down as we know it. Does the Upside Down end at the border of Hawkins? Who's to say? To me, this just shows how powerful Vecna really is, and what's going on here with this bubbly looking Matrix egg sack on the wall. Again, I'm just spitballing here. There are tons of routes they could go, and the Duffers are gonna give us answers, and it's safe to say they're probably not just gonna give us answers, they're gonna cook with it. They're gonna cook. But this is the media shot of the trailer and further shows how much we're gonna get with regard to answers and things we've never seen in the show before in this final season. The next shot features lots of new characters, but Mike Wheeler's at the forefront, shielding them back from danger. We see Joyce holding what looks like an injured or unconscious Will in the back, and then we see 3 new characters. The Derek guy again, and potentially his siblings. Now they could all be living on that farm, like that could be their family farm, and they just end up with the gang somehow. But I have no clue who these other 2 characters are. One is a girl who some folks say resembles Susie because of the glasses, but that is not Susie. And the other is a kid we've never seen. Like maybe they're just some random Hawkins civilians who got thrown into the group somehow for this one specific scene, and Mike's just protecting them. But I assume what Mike is shielding everybody from are either tons of other creatures from the Upside Down or Vecna himself. It only makes sense. Then we get what looks like the military base with soldiers all around and the floor busting open with glowing red. Is the Upside Down breaking through alive and well again? Vecna seems to be coming back with a vengeance. The floor panel opening reminded me of someone coming out of a coffin. We're so back. But the money shot of this trailer, the talk of the town, the final thing we see in this season 5 footage is of Will Byers screaming run. We get an extreme close-up of him looking up, and with a blood-curdling scream, he yells run at the top of his lungs. He's clearly terrified and fearing not only for his own life, but for those around him. Is Vecna coming for someone, or perhaps Will? I'll give it to Noah Schnapp. I thought he acted his ass off here in this clip. And my mind immediately went to the leaked audio from months ago of someone yelling run on set. It all makes sense now. In that audio, you can vaguely hear someone yelling, "You need to run," and we're all theorizing, who is it? Who is it? Well, it was Will Byers all along. Also in that audio clip that leaked, it was from the farm set. So Will yelling run could be referring to the fellow people in that shot with him, Joyce, Erica, and others, and he could be telling them to run from whatever's gonna bust down that door. This shot of Will also parallels other shots of the character that we've seen, such as him looking up and touching his neck at the end of season 4. It also reminds me of this behind the scenes shot of Will from season 5, looking at him from above. So let's just ask the question, could Will get Vecna'd? The framing of this shot certainly looks like it. He's about to be in some real pain. It would be ballsy to kill Will in that fashion, but they did it with Max. She came back, but no one is safe in season 5. We then get the Stranger Things 5 logo, and the final season text hits us on screen, closing out the date announcement teaser trailer that dropped at Tadum. But that's not where the news ends. After Tadum ended, we still got a couple more things. One of those was this official HD image of Eleven and Hopper, and they look like they mean business. Elle's nose is bleeding, Hopper's packing heat. That's one hell of a father-daughter duo right there. And to top it all off, Netflix dropped an official synopsis for season 5 of this show. It reads as follows: the fall of 1987. Hawkins is scarred by the opening of the rifts, and our heroes united by a single goal: find and kill Vecna. But he has vanished, his whereabouts and plans unknown. Complicating their mission, the government has placed the town under military quarantine and intensified its hunt for Eleven, forcing her back into hiding. As the anniversary of Will's disappearance approaches, so does a heavy, familiar dread. The final battle is looming, and with it, a darkness more powerful and more deadly than anything they've faced before. To end this nightmare, they'll need everyone, the full party, standing together one last time. That read like the opening crawl of a damn Star Wars movie. I want to get up on my feet right now, all right? That's how you do it, baby. But all that to say, Stranger Things delivered at Tadum. We finally got the official release dates and formats. The season's dropping in 3 parts, with Volume 1 on November 26th, Volume 2 on Christmas Day, Volume 3 on New Year's Eve, and that is going to be the series finale. We got the first footage of Season 5 with some exciting shots, teasing lore reveals and characters in peril. The season's looking to be pretty damn dark as well. So I have the utmost confidence in the Duffer Brothers to stick the landing, and I think you should too. And think about this. That is the last date reveal and first footage for a season of Stranger Things ever. It's bittersweet, but in the best possible ways. Like, you know when a show needs to end, but you don't want to say goodbye. That's how I feel about Stranger Things. They're gonna stick this landing, but it's gonna hurt like hell to say goodbye. With all that, the Stranger Things Season 5 era has officially begun. I've been covering, filming and all the production updates, but we have footage, we have a release date, the final countdown's on, mark your calendars, it's gonna be here before we know it. So that does it for this big ol' Stranger Things Season 5 teaser trailer date announcement breakdown. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. What are your theories and predictions based on all the shots? How do you feel about the release dates? I want to know. I want to have that combo in the comments. Also, if you want extra content, you can find that over on my Patreon. Lots of fun things in the Stranger Things world going on over there. Any support means the world. And if you're watching, please like this video. It is 1 a.m. right now, and I still have a buttload of editing to do, so I'm going to be up pretty much all night making sure this video gets out as best as can be. And it would mean the world if you guys just smash that like button, as the kids say. But that'll do it for this big old Stranger Things update. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to that notification bell if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side of the Upside Down.